What's going on, guys? Long time no vid. I've been extremely busy. I am going to get some of the tanks back rolling again, though, including reviving and revamping the reef. I'm on Fish Tank TV right now, chatting it up with Jerry, aka KY Fish Guy, and we're talking about DIY skimmers. I know I promised you guys, a lot of you guys, a long time ago, that I'd kind of share and how I built this skimmer. Never really got around to it. Extremely sorry for it. So basically, I'm just going to kind of get into what this is. Basically, it's very simple. This is actually a gravel vac tube from a gravel vac. I kept the back of that on, which actually the tube hooks onto, so you can siphon it out and all that other good stuff. And I've actually drilled holes in the bottom of that there to allow for water exchange. You need a way to get the water exchange in, and then also I didn't want to have bubbles coming out of the bottom. So this was a real, just an ingenious way for me to kind of prevent as many micro bubbles as possible with this little bootleg DIY skimmer right here. This is actually the collection cup I made out of a Chemi-Pure container, which you get when you buy your Chemi-Pure pouches. They sell the pouches in these. I drilled a hole through the top of the Chemi-Pure lid and put the tube in through the collection cup down into the cylinder. The reason I did this is to hide as much tubing as possible, and I can kind of just, the only thing that'll be in my tank basically for the most part is everything you see below my hand here. So just a way to conceal and have as less hardware in your tank as possible, less equipment in your tank as possible. This was all glued together using, I'm not even going to lie, super glue and various other glues I had. I used the super glue to kind of hold it, and then I went around it with like a white epoxy to strengthen it and make sure it was going to stay put together. Saltwater, very harsh shit. What else here? I super glued, I don't know if we can get in here and see this, but actually that is the top of a, what are they, 16 ounces, 20 ounce soda bottle that I just kind of chopped off and inverted and glued onto the gravel vac tube, and that works as my little thing that holds the foam and everything else. Yeah, pretty simple, straightforward. The reason I did it this way in the top, like I said, is that way I am minimizing all the wires and tubes and bunch of random shit in my tank. Like I said, everything below would be in the tank. Little suction cups to hook it onto the side of the glass. What I like about this little DIY skimmer right here is I can basically control how wet or dry I want the skim simply by moving it up on the glass. If I'm getting too much water, if it's too wet, move it up, and that solves the issue. You can just really kind of finagle it to how you want it, how you want your skim made. Everyone likes their skim made a little bit different. Also in here, you do not want your skimmer airtight if you're doing a DIY skimmer. You see I have little vent holes out the top as well. And like I said, you want a way for there to be some type of water exchange. No pumps, no frills, nothing fancy, just some cylinders and airline tubing and an air pump. One thing I will say about it from what I've learned is a smaller air stone with a bigger pump works best. I've experimented with a bunch of different types of air stones, and I found that if you get a smaller air stone and a bigger pump, trying to get this off here, and a bigger pump, you're basically going to produce a lot more micro bubbles as opposed to some bigger bubbles. And even with an air stone, you will find it kind of hard to get enough bubbles to get it going. Besides that, everything's kind of the same as with any skimmer. Takes a little bit to get going. I have a video 24 hours after hooking it up and collecting some skim made out of it, so go check that out. And yeah, any questions, I'll be happy to answer them. Maybe one day I can do a build and show you guys how I actually build it, but honestly it's pretty simple and straightforward. And yeah, real quick here, I was going to show you guys, you can see I have this little zippy tie right here, and that's because at one point in time I did have the the tubing going through the bottom here. So I had it going through the bottom here, and then I'd actually had it zippy tied right here on the side to keep it next to my little skimmer. That way the tube wasn't going all crazy. I didn't like that too much just because of all the stuff that collected on here, and I'd have to worry about cleaning that. And then also, who wants extra tubing and shit like that in their reef? So modified it, went in through the top, and it works great. The tubing doesn't get in the way of any skim aid or any bubbles, any more than the sides of the collection cup and the little reservoir that holds the froth. So yeah, that's what it is.